BitConnect promised 40% monthly returns. For 2 years, millions believed. The conventional story is straightforward. BitConnect was a Ponzi scheme. Fraudsters ran it. People lost money. Case closed. That narrative is correct in its bones. But it misses the machinery, the specific mechanics that made BitConnect not just a scam, but a scam that weaponized social proof, FOMO, and the architecture of cryptocurrency itself to scale faster than almost any fraud in history. BitConnect launched in early 2016. The platform offered a lending program. You deposited Bitcoin. The protocol promised to trade it on your behalf. Returns, 40% per month. That number alone should have triggered skepticism. Traditional stock markets average 8 to 12% annually. BitConnect promised that in 4 to 5 weeks. Yet millions joined. By late 2017, BitConnect claimed over $2 billion in deposits. The coin, BCC, traded on exchanges. The value climbed. Early depositors saw their accounts swell. They withdrew. They reinvested. The cycle fed itself. But here's the trap. Those returns weren't profits. They were payouts from new deposits. Classic Ponzi architecture. What made BitConnect different wasn't the scheme itself. Ponzi's have existed for centuries. What made it different was the distribution layer. BitConnect recruited aggressively through YouTube. Promoters, often called BitConnect shills, posted testimonials. They showed bank account screenshots, withdrawal proofs, Lamborghini purchases. The content was shareable, viral. The algorithm rewarded it. This is the first piece of the real story. BitConnect didn't invent the Ponzi. It weaponized the attention economy. A 2017 YouTube video promoting BitConnect could reach millions in days. Comments filled with personal testimonies. I made $5,000 last month. This changed my life. These weren't necessarily lies. Early investors had made money. That's how Ponzi's work. They pay early investors with later investors' capital. The second piece, cryptocurrency itself had no friction. There were no banking gatekeepers, no KYC enforcement, no regulators watching inflows. You could convert dollars to Bitcoin, deposit to BitConnect, and watch your balance climb all in minutes. The speed created a sense of inevitability. If money moved that fast, it must be real. The third piece, isolation. Most BitConnect depositors had no background in finance or trading. They didn't know what algorithmic trading actually looked like. They didn't ask for audits. The platform was opaque by design. Questions were met with testimonials, not transparency. The community, and it was a community, reinforced belief. Doubt was treated as heresy. By mid-2017, the cracks were visible to those looking. Crypto researcher David Malnar published analysis showing BitConnect's returns were mathematically impossible. The trading volume claimed didn't match exchanges. The math didn't hold. But Malnar's warnings circulated in technical forums. They didn't reach YouTube. They didn't compete with testimonials. This is where the real explanation diverges from the myth. Everyone now assumes BitConnect users were stupid. They weren't. They were isolated from contradictory information. They were embedded in a social structure, YouTube comment sections, Telegram groups, WhatsApp chats, where belief was the baseline and skepticism meant betraying your community. The collapse came January 16, 2018. BitConnect announced a shutdown. The lending program would close. The price of BCC cratered. From a high of over $460, it fell to pennies within weeks. The withdrawals stopped. Deposits evaporated. Somewhere between $900 million and $2 billion in user capital was gone. What followed was the meme phase. The internet converted tragedy into content. BitConnect became a punchline. Videos of promoters screaming the name in ecstasy circulated as jokes. The community that had celebrated together now mocked itself. The laughter was partly coping, partly schadenfreude, partly genuine mockery of a system that had failed them. The regulators moved slowly. The SEC issued warnings. Some countries banned BitConnect outright. But by then, the operators had moved capital. Some founders faced legal action. Others vanished into jurisdictions with weak enforcement. As of recent years, most BitConnect leadership has not faced criminal prosecution. Here's what BitConnect actually reveals. Ponzi schemes haven't become more sophisticated, they've become more distributed. The old model required a charismatic figurehead, Madoff, Kruger, the classics. BitConnect needed no central face. It needed thousands of YouTube personalities, each with their own audience, each amplifying the same promise through the same algorithmic feeds. The second revelation, cryptocurrency's lack of friction, was a feature for fraudsters, not a bug to be fixed separately. Unregulated markets move fast. That speed is the entire value proposition to legitimate users. It's also the entire vulnerability. BitConnect exploited the same infrastructure that makes crypto valuable. There was no separate fraud layer. The third, information asymmetry, persists even in transparent systems. BitConnect was technically visible. The blockchain was public. The claims were stated plainly. But visibility doesn't equal comprehension. A person without financial training, embedded in a community of believers, faces a genuine cognitive barrier to skepticism. That's not naivety. That's how social proof works. BitConnect collapsed nearly 6 years ago. The memes have faded, but the conditions that enabled it remain. YouTube still rewards engagement over accuracy. Cryptocurrency still lacks traditional friction. Communities still insulate their members from doubt. The next fraud won't be BitConnect. It will use the same machinery applied to something new. The story of BitConnect isn't really about BitConnect. It's about how modern information systems can scale fraud faster than they scale truth. It's about what happens when speed, community, and opacity align. Understanding BitConnect means understanding the infrastructure that enabled it. That infrastructure hasn't disappeared. It's been refined. If you're interested in how financial systems fail and why those failures reveal deeper truths about technology and trust, subscribe. New deep dives into crypto collapses, frauds, and foundational concepts arrive weekly. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe, there's a new collapse deep dive every week. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.